Hi guys, my name is Jay from Smart Studio and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to do some things that TikTok taught me. This is the second video in the series and today is just going to be a fun design with me as we go through the process of learning more about the cool things that you can do in Illustrator. So if you love graphic design, marketing, social media or branding and logos, then this is the channel for you. So let's hop right into the video. So in today's episode, we're going to go through some tips and tricks that I learned from TikTok. And here we have this graphic, Know Your Worth. I thought it was really cool. So I made this just before we started this video and I wanted to go through the process of how I actually did that. So let's start a new artboard and we're going to start again. So let's just change the background and let's make it to this pretty peach color. So the fonts I'm using today are Kandani and Matrole, I think. I'll link them in the description as I always do. I just got these from Inventor Elements, which is obviously my favorite place to be. So if you are looking at this font and you think, yeah, that's cool, I want to use that in my next project, it'll be in the description. So I've got my background ready. So let's do the font part and then we can add all the other elements. So what I'm going to do first is I'm just going to get my pen tool and make a bit of a slant. I just eyeball this. This isn't really anything. This isn't a particular angle. I just literally eyeball it and say, oh yeah, that might do. So I'm going to leave it there. Then I'm going to go to my type tool and then head down to my type on a path. So then lining up the line with the type on path, it will basically turn your line into a text line. So taking that, I'm just going to grab the right font and type out what I want. So I'm going to duplicate this by holding down Option and with my mouse dragging it down. The great thing about some fonts, especially if they're not free and they're paid for fonts, there is something called glyphs. Glyphs basically mean that there is extended options to that one font. There might be other options for capital letters. So in this, I'm just going to go through and check, see what is available. As you can see, there's like little pop-up options coming up with different options for the same letter. And I think I'm just going to keep it simple. Yeah, that instantly customizes the font. It's a really simple thing to do, but it's a handy trick to know. Okay, so I've got the font options here and it's starting to look all right. I kind of think that the yaw here though is a little bit boring and it would do with probably maybe being a bit slanted to give it more of dimensions. So to do that, we want to go to Object, then Transform up the top, and then you'll see Shear. In Shear, it's already got an angle at 15%, and yeah, so you can basically shear your angle up and down. Obviously doing it too much is going to make it too dramatic, but yeah, 15%, I think that looks great, and that instantly kind of gives an angle effect that gives more life and dimension to the graphics. So here we are with the final text. I'm pretty happy with it. What I'm going to do now though is I'll just save a copy and throw it down here. And I will take the text and I'm just going to create outlines for the text. What I'm also going to do now is make a copy by going Control-C and then Control-F, which will bring a copy right to the front, right to the top. And then what I'm going to do is flip the color and get rid of the outline. And I'm going to show you why in just a second. So now that we have a copy that is above the original layer and it is this dark brown color, what I'm going to do is make it a 3D effect. So what I will do is grab all of the text, go to Effect, go to Distort and Transform, and then I'm going to go to Transform. In the Transform, you'll have an effects panel that will pop up. And in this effects panel, you can play around with a whole bunch of options, but I'm just going to keep it real simple. So what I'm going to do is add 1 point moving horizontally, 1 point moving vertically, and then I'm going to create a whole bunch of copies that will copy it and kind of see this layer effect that comes down. So I'm going to go, I think I'm just going to go 50. And you've got this awesome long shadow effect. So now that I've done that, all I have to do is take this and send it to the back, and you have this awesome effect. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to up the strokes on the top layer. I'm going to copy again and then press Control C and Control F, which will create another copy on top, and get rid of the stroke. And voila, you have this really awesome effect. So I'm pretty happy with that. I don't think I really need to change too much. If I was going to be a huge perfectionist, I can always just take this color and fill in some of these gaps here. All right, so just filled in all the gaps. I'm pretty happy with this. I think it looks pretty great already without doing too much else to it. But we're just gonna group all of this, and we're gonna move on to some other effects that we can do to add just a bit more dimension to this. So I'm just gonna add some sparkles, and I only learned this the other day. The easiest thing in the world, how to make a sparkle, is to just draw out a circle. I'm just gonna fill that circle. So go to Effect, go to Distort and Transform, and then head down to Pucker and Bloat. And in Pucker and Bloat, basically you can just up and down, but if you go down into Pucker, it creates these cool little star effects. So then you can just copy as many as you want, scale them, flip them around, and it's such a simple thing. Just adding a couple of these to the overall design just gives it a little bit more dimension and a bit of fun, which is always great. So I'm just gonna add one of them in there, and I think I'll change the color. It's looking great. So one more fun effect that I learned recently, if you grab your brush tool and you fill a color, so I think I'm just going to use maybe this lighter color, grabbing my brush tool, and I'm just going to draw a wavy line, and then I'm going to grab the darker color, which I might even make a little bit darker, maybe there, and let's draw another line. This time we're going to go over it. So grabbing these two lines, if I go down to Object Blend, and then Blend Options, Specified Steps, and then I'm just going to type in 20 and see what this looks like. Then go back down, Option, Blend, and Make, and you get this awesome ribbon effect, which is just so cool. So I'm just going to grab him, send him to the back, and you've got this really cool ribbon effect. One more thing we could do is grab the background layer, go Effect, and let's just try play with maybe making the background a bit textured. So let's add some grain. Instantly that kind of gives that 70s vibe. Yeah, so I think just adding some grain to the background, some grain to the ribbon has really given that really vintagey vibe. So here's the final design. I just put it on a quick mock-up of a shirt so you can see what that looked like. And yeah, pretty happy with that. I know that was a quick video this week, but if you liked it, then please give a big thumbs up. I'm going to do more of these short content videos to see if you guys like them, and if you do, then comment and let me know. I'm thinking about doing some how-to videos and yeah, maybe some shirt design videos. But anyway, if you liked it, give it a thumbs up, give it a comment, and I'll see you in the next one.